Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week where I don't even really know where to start, to be quite honest with you. This last couple of weeks has just been an absolute disaster for all angles since the Falkirk game. Like I can't even put into words. They could probably make a Netflix series out of how much a shambles has been put on show by Rangers, by the board, by the media. We are currently the laughingstock of Europe because of all this ongoing bullshit. So it starts off, obviously, Russell Martin gets sacked a couple of weeks ago. We're all happy. I think we all know there's people still in the club that are on the screen at the moment that need to be removed immediately for the positions. You get the talk of Gerrard coming back. He rejects it. You've got Danny Röhl in the running. He rejects it. You've got Kevin Muscat, and you're thinking, right, this is the guy, and he ends up rejecting it as well. And then apparently Danny Röhl is literally in Glasgow as we speak, finalising his deal now to be Rangers manager. So it's been a whirlwind of that. In between, there's been a game which again has been another poor result for Rangers standards, but I think where all this outrage lies, really going into this podcast, is last night. Last night, when the news broke of there possibly being a breakdown in communication between Kevin Muscat and the Rangers board, was officially put out there by Chris Jack. The Grim Reaper strikes again, and I think we were all paying attention to the Shanghai Port game on Friday for nothing now. Because Kevin Muscat obviously won't be the manager of Rangers anymore. I think it points to a lot of wider issues that are happening at the club. It feels like Parag and Andrew Cavan are coming over and they're doing the deals and they're talking through with the coach, and then it gets to, right, you're going to be working with these two clowns, and he's like, nah, I'd rather not. So somebody I think that would have been quite good for Rangers, successful in his own right already. You were obviously sending me some videos about him and his style and him as a person as well that I was checking out, but that was just a waste of time now.
Waste of time in it, just a complete and utter waste of time. Like everything else at the moment in time, and it feels like talking about Rangers. Just disastrous. As you say, shows you how much of a laughing stock we really are. I mean, we can't even get a house in order. Really, it feels like, I mean, other teams are moaning maybe about they're not playing well, what have you, or all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? You're seeing it with Liverpool fans now. Obviously, we get beat off Man United, what have you. But I mean, for us, we can't even get a proper manager in. The people in charge of hiring the manager and what have you are absolute donkeys. They're clowns. They should know be nowhere near doing that. And then, I mean, we're not even coming on here properly to talk about the game. We're talking about this still.
Aye.
Do you
I
know?
mean, this has
You
been
know,
2 weeks, over 2 weeks since we stacked Russell Martin.
over 2 weeks. You know what I mean? You're thinking to yourself, right? This will get sorted. We'll be able to come on. We'll be able to talk about the players. Be able to actually get our thoughts properly on the players after a game out. That clown in charge. And nah, Rangers decide, no, we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to be talking about how we're hiring a 36-year-old, I believe he is, to be the head coach. You know, you,
Aye.
you went for 1 week, but absolutely buzzing. You felt like it was everything might be all right with Gerrard, and then obviously your heart get broken. And then Kevin Muscat comes along, and you're looking at it. As I say, I watched a couple of videos. It was just obviously about him and his coaching and what have you. And I was actually really excited. As you say, a guy, he's a winner. He's an absolute winner, and he's just decided, nah, I'm not going to come over because these two are absolute donkeys.
Yeah, it really does take some doing to be in this state. Like, it really just, when you point to the issues with Rangers, I genuinely don't even think the people in charge have the capabilities of even doing like their job to this poor of an ability. Like I genuinely think it's just in their blood. They're
I tell
not good
you,
enough.
I tell you what it is they've underestimated the size of Rangers. They've underestimated the job that was at hand, because this is a season for me where Celtic are on the decline. This is a season where it was there for the taking.
Yeah.
Well, as I say, Hearts have capitalised. I genuinely think Hearts will go on and hopefully win the league. Like, I just
Do
we
you know what? It would be probably the kicking up the arse Rangers and Celtic both need, to be honest with you. I I mean, that's as long as we've been alive. It's been Rangers and Celtic. It's not been anything different. Fair play to Hearts for actually making a push, and fair play to them for actually using some good scouting tools that gets you good players in Slovakian second divisions and all that. Like you look at Claudio Braga the other day, another double for him. I think he's top scorer in the league. Where did they get him for? I think it was I think it might have been him that came for Slovakia. Got him for next to nowhere, and we're paying £8 million for Yusuf Sharmiti. It just shows you
What
the stark
to come on
comparisons of how clubs are ran, really.
to come on as a sub, and it's
Yeah.
you pay £8 million for a player. For me, we should he should be starting and he should be scoring goals at least. You know what I mean?
And then you go there, that raises another issue as Kevin Thelway and his wee daft son Robbie are now taking care of that situation and planning as ahead of a January transfer window. We've already blown what 30 odd million in the summer. We've bought Emmanuel Fernandez, who came in for 3.5 million reportedly, not been in the squad for about a month. And we knew even when we signed him, like this isn't a guy that's going to start for Rangers, is he? He's going to maybe take in Ciala's place, she'll build him up. But none of us ever thought, he's going to be one of the centre halves for Rangers. Jaden Magoma pointing to another issue. No issue with Jaden Magoma as a person. He's a young guy trying to apply his trade and make it as a professional football player. But he should not be in the position where he's starting for Rangers week in, week out and be our only left back. So there you go. There's point two. Kevin Thelwell, when he even went on that interview, he was, oh, we've got Cornelius and we've got
That's what I'm
Diomande
on
can play
about.
left back. It's just, it's so. How
You're
have you
relying
planned a team out that way? It just doesn't make sense to me.
you're relying on always. He was saying as well, Aaron's and Tav as well can cover there, so we've got some cover. It's nice to have some cover, mate, but I'd rather have somebody in there that can actually play the full position for the full majority of the season. I mean, to rely on a young boy, it just feels not really fair on him. And as I say, he
No.
tries his best, but you can tell it's just a bit too much at times for him. And even as I say, I go back to him. We had the presser with Russell Martin. I say it to you all the time. The fact that he went there was positives in his season with Southampton. That was early alarm bells for me. What the fuck are you on about positives? There was no positives in that season whatsoever. Got 100% money laundering going on here. You can't convince me otherwise. That is 100%. There's
Do you know
something
what
going on
should
there.
be happening again? Going back to Yusuf Shamiti, I think when Rangers or Celtic in this league sign somebody for over £7 million, right? You're thinking this guy's going to come in, he's going to be the guy. I think Celtic thought that last season when they signed Engels and Adam Ida. But we're living in a reality where Kevin Thelwell obviously signed him at Everton. We sold Hamza Agaman and Cyril Dessers, and he thought he was the best option out there with all the scouting networks that you could possibly think of. Thought he was the best guy. Again, it's lazy, and I really do feel for Yusuf Shamiti as a young guy, a young player again, like I do Jaden Magoma, because he shouldn't be put in this position, and it's the same position that Danny Rowe's going to be in when he comes into the job. Every single problem goes back upstairs into why the fans are annoyed. It's not at the person, it's not at the player, it's at the people that sanction these deals and think that's the best way forward for Rangers Football Club. It's just crazy to me. It really is. Every time I think about Yusuf Shamiti coming in, I'm like, I can't point it to anything else other than there's a wee 8 million in the back pocket. Sorry for that one. And you go back to the Muscat thing. It broke down because like, we couldn't get him in immediately. Like I don't know about you, but any report that I seen said that we were willing to wait, and we knew the situation. So again, this
Well,
is another piece put out for the club to protect all those guys again.
I'm 100%, but even at the same time, obviously I understand he wants to go over there and he still wants, would they get a chance to do the double again, is it?
No, I think so.
Do you know what I mean? But I just think, listen, as soon as we come calling, you need to jump, you know what I mean? But I can understand it for Muscat's thing. 100% it's to cover these idiots, but
I can understand everything from Muscat's point of view, to be honest, through this full scenario. See him being like, no, I'm not going to leave my title race because
oh,
you couldn't get Gerrard over the line. That's
well,
pretty
that's
much
that's it as well. And you've made him what third choice the last couple of times, second choice with him and Clement Monte. So you wouldn't really be in a rush because you've never been the first choice really. You've always been the guy to fall back on in case we don't get the actual guy. So
hmm
I can 100% understand it from his point of view. I just I just don't understand how they can't get rid of these two. I really
no,
don't understand how they can't just go, look, you two need to go. Um,
no,
I
and
can't
I
believe
think
that. I can't
we're
even believe
now
that. I'm sorry, I'd have took MD in the league rather over. I'd have took Stephen Robson. I'd have took even Davy Martindale. This is
I think where my opinion on all this thing is see if we're sitting here in the summer and the club obviously goes through that takeover and they're right. We want a young, kind of forward thinking, progressive coach that we can build with. In my opinion, if Danny Röhl was appointed at that moment when Russell Martin is appointed, I don't think the fans get on the board's back and like really hate it as much as we are sitting here right now thinking this isn't the right appointment again. I really do feel for Danny Röhl as a person and as a guy now that when he comes into this club, it's an absolute bin fire that he has to
uh,
manage. And
gonna be
as a 36-year-old head coach at Sheffield Wednesday so far, does he have that
no.
capability to do that?
See, just what you said there, also thinking about a young progressive and all that, that doesn't fit this club. You need to just win here. You just need to win trophies. It's as simple as that. You just need to win. You just need to win. I feel sorry for him because I know he's going to get chased out straight away. Fans are going to, it's basically the same. I mean, what did you say last night? You'd rather, obviously, kept Martin if you knew it was going to be like this. If you knew that it's going to take them this long to actually find a replacement. It feels like I don't know. I mean, as I say, definitely feel sorry for him as a person because he's going to come under it straight away because nobody wanted him. Everyone had their eyes and their hopes set on Gerrard,
Well, that's
and they
twice
didn't get
now
him
that
here.
they've fell through on kind of strong men that you think could have made a difference to this Rangers side. And for whatever reason, and again, probably dealings with Patrick Stewart and Kevin Thelwell, those deals have fell through because of the amount of control they have over this club, and it's scary to think about that if people like Gerrard, very well-renowned guy that the fans adore, wouldn't come back because he had to work with the two of them, and Kevin Muscat, who by all accounts has been desperate to have the Rangers job at some point in his career, turning that down because of the same reasons. There's not enough people in there that know what to do with Rangers, and you've seen that. I've seen
I think
a
it's,
list of all of Kevin Thelwell's kind of stings that he's done so far. I mean, appointing and sacking Russell Martin, publicly backing him, and then sacking him 2 weeks later. The sanctioning of the deals and transfer window this summer, selling certain players for peanuts, really, and appointing your son, appointing just guys for Everton and all that. Like every single misstep that could have been made by Kevin Thelwell has been made in 4 months. And
yeah.
if me or you go into a workplace and submit that body of work within 4 months, we're getting sacked. So, like, where is this the same thing for him?
There's nobody at the club with boss. That's it. There's nobody who's really desperate to win. That's it for me. Like, if you're getting rid of that, because as I say, that it just screams dodgy deals. I mean, giving your son a job.
Well, that's
You
it.
know what I mean?
See when they have that
How
press
did he think?
conference with all these guys. I don't even want Danny Röhl to answer a question. I just want it to go to they
Oh,
two.
but how did he think that was all right? How did Kevin Thurber go? Do you know what? I'm just going to give my son a. How did he not think people would look at that funny and be like, "Hang on a minute here. What's going on here?"
See, even if
You're
that
having
was
a
the only thing he done, that would still be a terrible look for him
no.
as a person.
I just can't believe we're in this situation. I mean, you think about the optimism and the buzz that we had in the summer and everything, and now where we are.
Aye,
It's
because
a,
I didn't think anything could have matched the bin fire that's been the last couple of years with how poorly we've been ran. How again, it seems like we're always in fights with the board. It was folk last season, Stuart Robertson and all that, Ross Wilson over the years, James Bisgrove, all these guys have came and went, and we still feel that we're in the same position with different people. I don't know. I really don't know. On
just
Danny Rowe, obviously Fabrizio Romano was posted that I've seen photos of him. He has arrived in Glasgow Airport, so he is going to be the guy. And as a Rangers standpoint, from a Rangers fan point of view, taking out with anything to do with the board, I'm fully behind Danny Rowe. If you get this team playing and you win, I'm fully behind you. I just don't feel that this is the appointment that we need at this time. That's probably where I'm at.
no, I'm 100%. Listen, that's where everyone should be. Um, I just don't. I can't believe it. This is a guy that's getting the job, but you know what I mean. Surely there's. I don't know. I just think
Because it's easy to put kind of all these things together, being like, right, he was in the running in the summer, he wasn't good enough, and they picked Martin. He kind of is of the same mold as Martin, might not be the
that's what I'm
same
on
kind of
about.
player, the same kind of manager or whatever, but again, he's young. He needs to find his way in the game before he gets to Rangers for me. Like, at 36-year-old and being the head coach of Rangers at any time is difficult, but especially at this time. Like, if he comes in ahead of his game on Thursday, like what a task you have got because we've lost our first two European games and you need to win. And if he doesn't win, immediately there you go. Like, there's fans that will pressure that. And I don't know what's kind of went through anybody's
Mm.
head. And again, any issue that we've talked about so far, it goes back to, oh, it's a Kevin Thirlwell decision again
Mm.
that has put us
Well,
into
that's
this
what
position.
it feels like for me that is this guy maybe sabotaged deals so he could get his guy in? Do you know what I mean? Is he sort of being hardball so he gets his guy in? Because as I say, I'm sorry, this he's what is he as I say, what's he done first off to get this job? And second, I mean, it's just hipster football again to me.
So it's
That's
more
what,
about stats and looking at an iPad and all that pish. Like at Rangers, you need just somebody that can get you over the line, and if he very well might be that guy that has the stats as well. What it remains to be
let's
seen.
say part of the Sheffield thing, you're like, where else was he? Where else was he?
So
Like,
I've done some research on him after the story kind of came out last night. So his first and only head coach role has been at Sheffield Wednesday. He's been with Hansi Flick at the German national team as his assistant. He's been at Southampton with Ralph Hasenhüttl as his assistant, and he's been at RB Leipzig, I think, as Marco Rosa's assistant. So he's been about like elite level clubs and players and stuff like that. Like I'm not saying that this guy doesn't know what he's doing. It just feels like a strange one at the moment because it doesn't, again, feel like. See, if you look at all the three coaches that are in the running, none of them are like any similar at all. It just feels like they've just, oh, the fans want Gerrard, or the fans want Muscat, and then Kevin Thelware's like, I kind of want this guy, Danny Röhl, and that's eventually where they've ended up going. Danny Röhl obviously will have a set way of playing. It's something to kind of keep building towards for him
I
and
can't.
a young coach. But Gerrard and Muscat would have been the guys for like now, and I just don't
I
see any similarities.
I just can't be going watching the centre half stilly dally on the ball and the ball getting passed about at the back because they don't know what to do with it or they can't be arsed. I mean, first half, I mean, to even talk about the game, which I was looking forward to getting into, but obviously we're no now. Even just to talk about like the first half, I mean, breath of fresh air, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then also second half was same old, same old.
Nah, I think if we divert for the Danny Role manager stuff now and look at the game, so obviously Stevie Smith's came in the role probably in a game that he didn't expect to be in charge of. He's took the team and he's kind of held himself pretty admirably, to be honest with you. When I was listening to his press conference and that, he speaks like a guy that kind of is
Common
just like
sense.
everybody else. He speaks with a bit of sense, and he's picked the kind of same team that would have been kind of normal this season. Um, I can't fault anything in that first 45 minutes other than not just putting the game to bed and scoring more goals because it was the best we've played all year, like by an absolute country mile. The tempo was there for the get go. I mean, Asgard scored a fantastic goal. Could have had a couple more. Um, Gassama and Ant Man's attitude was there. Rothwell's attitude to run as well was there. And it just was again a breath of fresh air for where we've been. But I think where you come from when you're playing these teams in Scotland, um, Dundee United are going to have a reaction. They're going to feel that they can react against this Rangers team, and I thought it was men versus boys in the second half. I thought that's what it was. I thought we have too many people in there that don't know how to handle the mentality of being pegged back or going 2-1 down to then go and fight. It felt like Dundee United had men in their team that could actually go through a tough first half where they could have been about 4 or 5 nil down, still come out the other side in the second half and be positive and try and win the game. And I didn't really see that in the second half of Rangers whatsoever. Your man in the photo there, Majovsky, getting no service whatsoever. I don't think he's doing enough to get on the ball either. And that again goes to Yusuf Sharmati as well. When the strikers change, there's not much coming for that part of the pitch. Um, and it was just it's just a terrible second half. It was just more of what we've seen, and it was just crazy to watch that unfold in the stadium, being like, right, that first half was of such a good level. How do we revert back to that in the second half again?
Again, doesn't seem to really matter who's playing on it. It's just they can't seem to play well for a full 90 minutes. It's crazy. as you say, first half was an absolute breath of fresh air. It was nice to see, as I say, Ant-Man looked like he was finally getting to be Ant-Man. Asgard as well. I mean, what an absolute goal. I mean, the fact that that was a sensational goal he scored, and you're not even really
Hmm.
properly talking about it, you know what I mean? I thought Raskin done all right first half as well. And then, as you say, forward, like, I mean, it's just crazy that we get to do a guy like Cyril Dessers, man. And do you know what I mean? It's like, he probably would have maybe have scored that game. You know what I mean? You just, if he's in the right place,
That's
right
where we're
time.
at.
Second half was just, I thought, I'm like, right, surely he's going to throw Cameron on here for just for a wee bit of legs or something, just to get in
Hmm.
there, more physical, maybe a wee bit. Wasn't he? It was nice to see Finlay Curtis back in and actually getting some minutes. I know he was obviously didn't really get to do much, but it was nice to just see him back in after
Hmm.
disappearing after scoring a goal. Um, but aye, it's just second half was just a complete and utter capitulation and 100% men against boys. The referee helped him a wee bit. The referee could have maybe gave a card or two to one of their players, really.
Yeah, I
But I
think
think
it ended
the
up
one on
getting quite
Ant-Man,
dirty.
I think the challenge on Ant-Man I thought was quite fucking reckless. I thought that was a yellow at least. But aye, this is what Danny Rowe's got to come into. So let's see what you can do if you're going to be there on Thursday, buddy.
Well,
You need to win straight away. You need to absolutely win straight away because there's no excuses here. You know what I mean? You need to come in because you already know it's again another appointment where the fans only going to like you, because you're not who they obviously wanted, and because you know what I mean. We want the people at the top, want them going. These people
exactly.
shouldn't make decisions, and
And
it's
that mood has to change quick for us as fans. I don't know about you, but I don't want to go to Rangers games and just protest and be negative and all that. I want to actually go and watch my team. And I think we done that for the first 45 minutes the other day. And I think when you go back to the team, sorry, you look at some of the players in that team. I'm looking at guys like Asgard and Ant-Man, and I know Miovski has some. I know Gasama obviously has some. I seen Maury Rothwell that I liked. Um, but it just feels like somebody has to come in and put that together. Um, it remains to be seen. We'll need to wait and see what happens as of Thursday. Is Danny Röhl going to come straight in and be in charge? I would like to think so. If he wants to make this a serious thing, we need to put the fucking caretaker thing to bed and just get on with it now. SK Brann, Norway, away from home, early kick-off on the Thursday. It's always going to be a tough game for Rangers this season in Europe, it feels like. This is a team that, again, going back to the Sturm Graz game for the last time, we would beat pretty much every season. If we were in this game, we would feel very confident in getting 3 points. So that's what it has to be. It has to be a victory. We need to win games. I mean, like the fact that we've only won one league game up till now is just mental. The fact that we're sitting in the Europa League in the state that we are is crazy. And the fact that we're still managerless at this point is mental. So things need to change, and things need to change under Danny Röhl. He's the guy. So there's not much else we can say about who should have been the guy. We've made the decision. For me, all the negativity and everything that happens has to go on Kevin Thirlwell and Patrick Stewart's door. I cannot see Patrick Stewart being here for much longer, to be honest with you. I think Kevin Thirlwell will take some doing to get rid of him. But I think Patrick Stewart is already like gone. I would think he was really close to going for some of the stuff that I've seen after the weekend. And the banners were out and the chants were out again, and that just can't keep going. So the club and the American owners need to take control now. I
let's show some
mean,
balls. Let's show
aye,
some balls. Get rid of the two of them. How much is it? You know what I mean? I just think fucking get rid of them. You know what I mean? I
aye.
know obviously business deals and things and all that kind of stuff. I just think get rid of them. If you're serious about it, get these two clowns away. And obviously it's going to be hard to say with Kevin Fairwell and the deals he's done, bringing his son in and all his mates for Everton. That's going to be harder to hang with. As I say, get rid of that goblin Patrick Stewart, get him going. He has to go straight away. And I would just sack them all, man. I'd just say a Trump, man, you're fired. You know what I mean? Apprentice or Alan Sugar, you're fired. Get out of here. You know what I mean? I mean,
Aye.
it's just crazy. We're going hipster direction. Obviously, we're going to back it. We're going to get into it. We're going to support him, but it's going to be hard, man. If he doesn't pick up results straight away, you know what it's like. It's going to be
Mhm.
there again, and it's I don't know. It's like a vicious circle in it now. It's honestly, it's just like a hamster wheel you can't get off.
Mhm. Nah, that's kind of what it is, and has been for the majority of the year, really. Even when you go back to January and that this year, aye, it's just it's a situation that Rangers shouldn't be in as a club. And the reason I say the Americans need to take ownership now is they need to just actually act like owners of this club and get the house in order. The guys that are running the day-to-day operations are not good enough. They've overseen far too much of this bullshit that we've been dealt with as fans, and I think when you get to Thursday, you'll see some fans maybe get into them again in the hotel, like
Hope
we did
so.
a couple of weeks ago. So, aye, questions need to be answered. It looks like Danny Rowe is probably he's arrived in Glasgow. He's going to sign his contract and all that. He'll be announced maybe later on the night,
How
maybe
many
tomorrow morning.
how many years is he getting? Surely you got to keep it short. Right.
Two
Because
year
if
deal or something at least.
you can't go afford it. See if I see it's a 5 year deal,
Well,
4 or 5 year deal.
we'll wait
You're
and
playing,
see
you're
for that.
playing.
It looks like obviously the press conference might be tomorrow then when they announce him formally to the fans and the media and all that.
You
Oh
should
my
just be there
God.
for you should be there for a picture, whatever, 2 seconds. Right, Danny, you can go and sit aside. You two pricks, right, sit down, we're running through you. Because they two are the two that, as you say, I expect to get most hit with most of the questions. And let's see them try and squeeze and worm their way out of this. Absolutely, I can't go with them, man. Absolutely not at all, man.
No, I cannot. I just can't even think about the pair of them. Because it just the Chuckle Brothers, any single duo act that you want, it's them, and they've let the club turn into this season. It just genuinely does feel like eternal sabotage. It feels like what did we deserve this as fans to go through this much shite every year? Um, but we'll see. It's Danny Röhl now. I don't know really much what else to say on it, to be honest with you. It's him. He's the coach. All you need to do is win games.
So that's all you need to do. I don't know, man. It's just one of them, and it's like I already know you're going to be sacked, mate. Do you know what I mean?
It
But
just if that's I think where the feeling comes from. I don't think the feeling ever comes from or us saying that means we don't back him. I fully really hope this guy
ah,
is a success here, but it just feels like every other appointment that we've made. I don't know. It just feels like the wrong one at the moment in time, and it feels like the writing's kind of on the wall. For when this goes wrong, then those same things will start popping up. But it is what it is. The club just need to answer now. It needs to be on Thelwell and Patrick Stewart's door to really explain what this past 2 weeks has been, why they're still in their positions needs to be communicated by Andrew Kavanagh and all that. And if they don't get removed, then the fans will take it into their hands, as the banner said the other day. So, I'm fully hoping that the both of them won't be here by the new year. But whether we've got a manager or not, the Rangers circus, Danny rolls on now. Nice wee smart title there, but it is what it is. We go into Thursday and we try and win the game, possibly with Danny Rose as a coach. So until next week, I think we've got was it Kelly at home on the Saturday. Then we're playing Roma. I don't know if that's the next week or the week after, but the games are cutting thick and fast anyway, and we need to win games. That's pretty much Danny Rowe's remit at the moment. So if you can do that, mate, you're going to be off to a good start. So, we'll be back to talk about that. So we'll see you then.